Yo, what's up? My name is Petrowski, and welcome back to episode 3 of Loot from 1 hour of every single Pokemon in the Pokedex. Today, we're going to be covering a beloved fan favorite and starter in Kanto, Squirtle. This is episode 3, so if you don't know the basis of the series, I heavily recommend checking out episode 1 and 2, where we do Bulbasaur and Charmander. Now, all three starters have a very similar catch rate, and we should see around the same per hour. It was actually really shocking how consistent episode 2 versus episode 1 was in terms of how many I caught, how many had 1x31s, and the profits. So Squirtle should be pretty interesting for this one. It is nice to see the different catch methods for all of them and the locations for all of them. I think that's a really good positive of this series that was left in the comments below. I believe on the first episode saying that this series will really show the best catch method for every single Pokemon and the, where to catch them, the location, which is, I think, a really cool side benefit. Alright, but let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to be starting here in Cinnabar Island, and I'm going to go ahead and head over to the water, and I'm going to immediately pop a repel. Just a normal 100 steps repel should be enough. I'm going to go ahead and surf in the water. We're going to head east. We're going to have our catching Pokemon on us, of course. It shouldn't be a big deal what catching Pokemon we have on us. I bring Breloom just in case I need to regen with Toxic Orb and Poison Heal. But you shouldn't need to regen that much during this strategy. You're not going to take too much damage. When I head east from Cinnabar Island, keep heading east towards the south side of the water, get to this cave, head inside, and then I'm just going to run back and forth here until I encounter Squirtle over and over and over again for 1 hour. So I'm going to go ahead and encounter our first Squirtle and then start the hour. And just like every other episode, I will be running away from everything that isn't a Squirtle to save time. This is a Squirtle-centric episode, so even if I encounter other rare counters or Pokemon like Jinx that might have a decent value, that might be worth my time initially to farm, I'm not going to worry about it in this episode. I just want to see Squirtles. Alright, there we go. We did just see a Squirtle. Honestly, not too long of a catch time. And it's actually female. That's incredible. For those who don't know, I believe it's a 12.5% chance for them to be female in the wild, and then 87.5% for them to be male. So pretty nice to see a female. It does have Protect, which will be a little annoying, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. These should be a super easy catch rate, and I'm just going to show you guys what it's like to catch the first one. And then, all of a sudden, I'll go catch 1 hour, get back to you guys with the loot. But let's go ahead and show you guys the catch method for the first one. It should be pretty easy. It should just be false swipe, spore, and then spam Pokeballs until it catches while resporing whenever it's asleep. So because it's such a simple one, I'll just see you guys once I catch it. All right, let's see how many Pokeballs it takes. This is the first Pokeball, failed catch. Here's the second Pokeball. 1 wobble, 2 wobble, failed catch. Third Pokeball was an immediate failed catch. I'm starting to think it might be worth to use Ultra Balls, Repeat Balls, or maybe Great Balls, or a higher level ball for this sort of Pokemon. Since it is a little higher level than the other two we've seen, I believe, wasn't Charmander level 15 or so? I remember Bulbasaur was level 10, so it's a slightly higher level starter. So it might be worth kind of throwing a higher level ball because that catch rate is going to be a little more annoying, especially since most of the video is going to be wasted on just running back and forth trying to encounter these Squirtle encounters since they are quite rare. Let's go ahead and show you guys the official spot. Seafoam Island's rare encounter, so a lot of the episodes are going to be running back and forth for that. Let's go ahead and check the stats. No notable stats for the most part. Yeah, no really notable stats, but still a female Squirtle is going to have a really nice base value. All right, I'm going to spend 1 hour catching Squirtles, and I'll see you guys with the loot. Alright, we ended up catching 9 Squirtles, which is, I believe, 3 less than the Charmanders and Bulbasaurs, unfortunately. So we either got a little unlucky on Squirtles or a little lucky on both Charmander and Bulbasaur. But it's hard to tell, probably somewhere in the middle. We only ended up getting 1 female Squirtle, which was that first one we caught, and then we got 8 males. So I'm going to go ahead and sort these by IVs and prices and everything. Let's go ahead and see and break down how much Pokeyen we made. Alright, I've sorted them all as such. We ended up with, 5 Squirtles with no IVs, 1 female Squirtle with no IVs, which actually has a surprising base value. So these will have some pretty decent base values. Let me go ahead and check the base values on these before anything else. So, I actually have an interesting proposition with base price Squirtles. So, you see a lot of them for 5K, but they've all been listed for less than 8 hours. Same with 6K. So if we go to the next page, they've all been listed for less than 8 hours for around 6 to 7K. I would propose that And the same with 8K, like you're still 8 hours listing, right? So someone's obviously buying these out to do some sort of shiny breeding or breed for a shiny, etc., etc. Once you reach that 9K range, that's where that person obviously stops buying them, and they sell for a lot. It takes a lot longer for them to sell. So I'm probably going to end up either listing them for 8,999 or 7,999. So I'm either listing for 8K or 9K. And I'm honestly not quite sure which I'm doing yet. It kind of just depends how long I want to wait. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do 8K. I think 8K is a much fairer price. 9K would take a really long time to sell, and then the fear of like some of them not selling would suck. That's like the main issue, but all of them should sell all of them should sell at 8K. It might, it's just going to take a little bit longer of time. So I'm going to go ahead and calc those 5 at 8K. So 8K times 5. That's our base value for the male Squirtles with no IVs. Now we're going to go ahead and look at a female Squirtle with no IVs. And I was really, really surprised by the price check on this. I'm not going to lie. I guess not many people are farming Squirtles compared to the other starters. I guess it's in a much later game spot. People can really farm those early game. But female Squirtle is pretty solidly going for 20K, which is pretty surprising to me. So that's a pretty easy plus 20K to the calculator check. So we're already at 60K. I do feel, though, as though this is going to be the most expensive or most worthwhile starter. So out of all the ones we've checked to catch, which is really surprising, considering, I don't know, I usually feel like I really thought Charmander was going to be the most worthwhile because I feel like he's the most desired, but, or he's the most fan desired. But this really shows the competitiveness and like utility of PokeMMO, because for those who don't know, Bulbasaur is the most used one out of these Pokemon competitively, probably because it's so used in NU. But in UU, Blastoise is a really important Pokemon as well, on top of Blastoise actually being really relevant and really important for gym rebattles and gym rerun teams. A lot of people run double Typhlosion and double Blastoise in the back for those fire type gyms. So I really think Squirtle ends up being the most expensive due to that, and it really shows. I ended up catching a Squirtle with 1x31 special attack, and then one with 1x31 speed, and special defense. That's the special defense one. But they ended up coming out to pretty crazy prices. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. Alright, so here is Squirtle with 1x31 special attack, going for a solid 34K. Really, really, really nice price check. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on 34K on that one. That's an insane boost to our profits. Squirtle is really coming through, especially compared to Charmander versus Bulbasaur. This Pokemon looked crazy, and for good reason. So here's 31 speed, also coming in for around 34K. That one's female, so it gets a small price bump. But yeah, I really think around 34K is pretty fair for this thing. I'm also going to go ahead and list that at plus 34K, putting our total up to 128K so far, which is much higher than Charmander and Bulbasaur. Now we can go ahead and check the 31 special defense one. Now this is a much less desired stat. The other two were 34K apiece, but still going for a super solid 20K, which I think is a more than fair price for mine. So I'm going to go ahead and bump us up 20K to our total profits being 148,000 Pokeyen after 1 hour of Squirtle. Now that is pretty solid. That is pretty fantastic, pretty great. We even saw less Squirtles than Charmanders and Bulbasaurs. So but we did end up getting one more 1x31 Pokemon, but the female base price on Squirtle is so much higher than Bulbasaur and Charmander as well. So that was a really important factor. This is, yeah, by far, right now, in the current state of PokeMMO, as of January 11th, 2022, the best starter out of the first 3 Kanto ones to catch is Squirtle, racking our profits at 148,000. Wow, I was pretty surprised by this result. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button. That would help me out a lot. And also subscribe for more PokeMMO content, more catching content, more events, holiday events, PvP guides, money making, etc., etc. Everything about PokeMMO you can probably find on this channel. Also consider checking out all the playlist links below if you want to see more PokeMMO content. There's hundreds of hours of it in there. And also consider joining my Discord linked below. We have a really cool, thriving community of really helpful members who are willing to learn about this game, ask questions, and teach newer players, etc., etc. And finally, consider becoming a YouTube member to me for $5 a month. If you really want to go above and beyond and support me, it means the world, and if I've earned that from you, I really, really appreciate it. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next Pokemon on this series, which I think is going to be Caterpie.